What's going on, guys? How we doing out there? I'm Cody Interval, PDGA 148739, and welcome back to my channel, Off the Chains. Today, I'm going to recap my round one of Workforce Brewing Open 4 that is taking place this weekend, May 14th through the 15th, over at Trinity Links Disc Golf Course in Lockport, Illinois. And first off, before I get into it, I want to personally thank everybody for being very patient with me as I'm kind of getting newer and trying to do things differently with the YouTube stuff. I haven't really had a lot of motivation lately to do any YouTube videos. So unfortunately, I should have done one for Plastic Addicts, the Illinois Amateur Championships, but I did not, unfortunately. Um, so I've been trying to get like more podcast episodes in, obviously, and then do the YouTube as well. So, oh, hi, cat. Stop. There's my goober cat. Okay. That's Amelia. She's right here. Where is he? Right here. Hello. Say hi. Hi. All right. Goodbye. And now you lost me train of thought, cat. Now. Yeah, I just haven't been able to do a lot of YouTube, but thankfully I've had a lot of more motivation lately. I took this last week off from doing podcasts and just doing anything and just focused on my game. Putting was really iffy. It even made me question, like, should I go back to Fierces? Should I stay with the P2s? And after the week, I came to the determination that I just need to start figuring out what I'm doing wrong with my P2s and make the adjustments. And so then we ended up doing a Workforce Brewing Open Flex start yesterday, the 13th of May on Friday the 13th, ironically. And it was between 10 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. And thankfully, I was able to get off work and then was able to go out there and play that and play with my good buddy Grant. And in the Flex start, after bogeying the first hole, I ended up finishing with 7 birdies after that with 2 more bogeys, and then I parred out the rest. I ended up finishing 4 under and actually took home the win for the Flex start. So it actually says on the PDGA that I have a career win in recreational, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, cool. Huge shout out to Ryan Fancher, Sean Callahan, Sheila, Doc, Thor, all the J-Town people for always running amazing events and making everybody feel truly welcomed in this community. Today I went in. First thing, I didn't know what to expect because it was really nice to have a later tee time. Usually I'm used to like having to get up at the butt crack of dawn and play at like between like 8 o'clock and 9:30. Usually at the latest is 9:30. And so today I was teed off at 11:54, which felt great. So I woke up this morning, did my normal thing, went to the bathroom, and ate a Jimmy Dean breakfast bowl, biscuits and gravy breakfast bowl, and got a couple practice putts in on my basket back here. And then got to the course, left my house about 10:45 this morning, got to the course about 11:15, 11:20, got a couple practice putts in, got a couple practice throws in, and then went about my day. And hole one, it's actually a left to right Anheuser shot, 191 foot hole, and it's right over a pond. And I did the Flex start yesterday, and I ended up going in the water, so I took a 4 on that hole. So I ended up just taking the safer route, going right to left, and taking the back way out, and it ended up working out that way for today. So I ended up starting the first hole with, and I ended up parting that hole. Not really much to talk about on this one, as pretty much I literally parred every single hole. Hole one was one that I definitely felt like gave it a good run, and just I barely hit the top of the basket, so I ended up missing the birdie by about a foot or two. Ended up taking the par on that. For 2 alternate, I ended up taking a par again. I just had a bad second shot, and I didn't put anything on it, and then I put myself about 35, 40 feet out, and managed to save the par on that. I parred 3 as well, which was another hole that I wish I had. I had a good line at it, and then I just hit the basket again, so I ended up picking a par on that after missing the birdie. Hole 4 was another one I wish I could get back, and I didn't get it, unfortunately. Hole 5 is a hole there that I absolutely struggle with. I played the Ugly Sweater last year, and or not last year, I'm sorry, 2 years ago, 2020, December of 2020. and I played awful there. I think both rounds I shot 9 over each round, and it was 18 over for the tournament, and just did not like how I played, and ended up screwing my rating up pretty bad. So the fact that I was able to go from 18 over in 2020 to shoot 4 under yesterday for the flex start, and then to do a 1 over today was okay. 22 stroke swing, and then what was it, a 19 or a 17 stroke swing. So yeah, I feel like I got the win either day. But hole 4 was one I wish I had too. 5 is a hole, like I said, I usually struggle on, and I usually have gotten 4 better or worse. So 5 today felt really good. I put myself out a little wide, but it was still pin high from the bat to the basket. And then on the, I did kind of like the Paul Macbeth shot where I came down and then came up like, did a little kick and kind of put it on the hyzer, and I just went over the top of the basket. Like if I just put a little more angle, I probably would have had it in. So I ended up parring that as well. So I was thankful that I at least got a par on that. That was like a birdie to me because I usually, like I said, get 4 or worse on that. Hole 6, hole 6 was a hole that I really hated the fact that I got a 3 on. It was a birdie I got yesterday, and definitely wanted that one. And again, hit the basket again. So there was a couple overall the putting and the flex start was really good because I had 4 C2 putts for birdie that I made. And then today it even felt okay. There was just a couple that didn't get enough height on or enough angle. Hole 8 was another one that I wish I had. I just missed the top of the basket, and I tickled the left side of the chain, so I just put in too much angle on that one. And then hole 9 was one that I usually got a 4 on or worse, and I took a 3 on that one as well, so I was thankful I got that. So through the front 9, I was sitting at even, feeling pretty good about myself. Holes 10, 11, and 12. Holes 10 through 13 were all pars. 12, it should have been a birdie. I ended up missing it by about 5 feet to the right. And then 13, I got the par on that one. And then 13 was one because yesterday I got a 3 on it. Or I think I got a 2 or a 3, I can't remember. And I threw an Avenger SS and left myself about 50 feet out yesterday. And then today I was about 75, 80. So I took my tactic that I normally do good upshots on, and instead of throwing it flat, I threw it on a hyzer and ended up pushing it 25, 30 feet to the left of the basket. So I was still pitting high, and I was just inside circle 1, if not just outside circle 2, and was able to save the par there. And then going up to hole 14, this one really upset me because hole 14 is probably by far, other than hole 1, the 191 foot, and the only reason why I don't say hole 1 is the easiest is just because you're throwing over water. But hole 14 is by far the easiest because it's like a straight tunnel shot with a couple pine trees to the right, a couple left to the left, and it's pretty open for the most part. In the flex start yesterday, I parked it right under the basket with my Eagle McMahon Iron Samurai. And then today, did the same exact shot, only this time, instead of like when I came through, coming up, like giving it a little anhyzer because it's a 0 turn 1 fade, instead of going like this, I went, wow. And I threw it like on a little hyzer and ended up putting it in the bush to the left. Left myself about 20 feet away from the basket, so I was still inside circle 1, was just annoyed at the fact that I didn't have a great shot on the hole. And then had a pretty like a tunnel shot on the knee and just tried to lay it up, and at the last second decided it would be a good idea to try and run it, and ended up tickling just the edge of the pine tree, and it pushed me straight down. So I literally went about 5-10 feet in front, and then I had a weird angle straddle putt to get it down to save the par, and I completely whiffed on it. So on the easiest hole there, of course, I definitely I bogeyed that hole. And then hole 15, I almost got the birdie back. I hit the top of the basket, and then it hit the basket. It hit the top of the actual top part, that's the roof part of the basket, and then it came down, and it just hits on the basket, teeter-tottered, and then fell out. So that one was unfortunate, or that would have felt really nice to get the birdie right back and go back to even. And then 16, trying to think, what was 16? 16 was another shot that I didn't have. I had a bad tree kick off of, but was able to still get up and down to save the par. 17, I had another bad kick off a tree, but again was another one I was able to get up and down, save the par. I had a line at it, and I could have easily ran for it, but I decided not to, just because there was water directly right behind it. So I ended up just taking taking my medicine and playing it safe and taking the par on that and whatnot. And then going into the final hole, hole 18, I went with my Culverin Opto X Culverin, or my Opto X Culverin. There we go. Which I can get a lot if I get a good pull on it. I can get a lot of distance out of it. I think I maxed out at like 375, 380 with it. Um, so I'm just trying to get it up there to get myself a look for birdie. And I landed about 25, 30 feet out. Was like, okay, this is the last opportunity to get the birdie, go back to even and finish even for the day, and put myself in a good spot for tomorrow. Well, I had it online, had the angle I wanted, the speed I wanted, all this and that, but I just didn't have the height. And right before it got to the chain, it ran out of speed or ran out of height and just came down, and I hit the middle of the basket and had to tap in for the par. So I literally parred every single hole today, except hole 14. I took a bogey. But if you can see that, yep, there it is. Pars on everything except hole 14 right there. So, um, yeah, it sucked, but overall, the round was rated unofficially right now because there's still cards playing actually to this day. MPO is playing right now. Is 890. So, and that is 19 points above my rating. So I just got to play above the rating tomorrow, put myself in a good spot, and then in a couple weeks when I play the Walnut, I just got to play good there. That's the tournament I won last year. And then when the ratings come out, I should be moving up a decent amount of points and hopefully get close to Mike Sarah again. Good. Speaking of Mike Sarah, now I know I joke all the time. And I say, "Oh, like Mike Sarah and I are bitter rivals." It's just all really, to be honestly, it's all in good fun. I look at Mike and I because we're always so competitive against each other, whether it's jokingly or not. We're always so goddamn close to each other, whether it be I beat him by a stroke or two, he beats me by two or three, or we just tie. And so today, he was 2 over, I believe, through 10 holes, and I was even through 11. So I was sitting up pretty good, and then I took the bogey on he birdied a hole and got down to 1, and then I took the bogey on 14 and went to 1 over. So we were tied after that, and he parred 14. So he was on the card right behind me. So then we ended up both tying, both getting 1 over for the day, which was funny to me because we both got the same scores on the final from 15 to 18. We both landed on 18 about 25 feet out, 25, 30 feet out roughly, and we both hit the exact same part of the basket on our birdie putts. So so now we're actually, if I counted it right, and there's 4 people on each card, I'm the 16th player on the list. He's the 14th. So hopefully him and I get to be on the same card together, and then we can always make that joke like him and I are like the Paul Macbeth and Ricky Wysocki of MA3 would just like to battle each other out without just the only difference is we're not that good. We just suck. So, but no, I love playing with the guy. He's super cool, super funny to play with, super fun to hang out with. And like I just said, like I might talk crap all the time, but it's all in good fun. Same thing with him. Like I can't remember what it was, 16 when I had a bad drive. Or 15 when I had a bad drive. I managed to save on the second shot. I had a good upshot, and he was saying before that he's gonna try and beat me. My goal is to beat you. And then when I saved that and was able to save the par, I just turned around and did like the WWE DX chop to him. I was like, he's like, what the hell? So, yeah, it's like not like competitive, like we're like trying to be assholes to each other. It's just competitive, like it's just having fun. We like to have that talk. Like he's actually 14 points rated higher than me, which is funny because I shot up to from 867, 871. He was 873. Yeah, 873. So I'm like, I forgot he played a tournament at Oaks and Folks up in Mokina, Illinois, at the Oaks. I forgot he played that and took 4th place and did really well. So when I was like, oh yeah, Mike, I said I moved up 4. I'm only 2 points behind you now. I check his rating and he shot up 12 from that. I'm like, he got to be shitting me. So, and then he was laughing. And then today we were practicing our putting. I missed a couple from like 15 feet on a practice putt, and he drained all 4 of his from like 30 feet out, and he's like, "This is what an 885 player looks like, or this is how an 885 player putts." And it about killed me. I just could not stop laughing. So he's super cool. I like him. But overall, like other than him, besides that, guys, overall, I felt like I played good today. Felt like I played clean. Like I said, there was a couple putts I wish I had back. There was a couple drives I wish definitely had back. I definitely wish I had that bogey back on 14. Um, but you can't control those sometimes, and it's unfortunate. Even on the easiest holes, things like that will happen, and you just gotta bear with it. That's all you gotta do, and just keep grinding at it. Huge shout out to, like I said, to the J Town fam, Sean, Sheila, Doc, Thor, Ryan. Um, Huge shout out to my family, especially my mom, who always talks me up before each round, who gives me words of encouragement after each round, and always tells me what I can do to improve and just to stay focused all the time. And she has been my continuous support. Her and my dad both. I love them dearly. Um, Huge shout out to Team Disc Store for the ongoing support and Disc Store. Nate, you guys are awesome. Um, I think I definitely think I made the right choice picking you guys as my team to be sponsored by, and I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to do that. Um, but right now, I'm sitting currently tied for 13th place out of 55 players. The guy in first place is 6 under, and the other guy in second is 4, and then everybody's at 3. So I'm like, everything's like right there. We're supposed to get like a 50% chance of rain tomorrow, so I'm hoping it kind of holds off. If not, we'll just have to bear with it. The last time I played around in the rain, I shot one over and ended up winning the tournament because everybody else shot so bad because of the weather. So anything can happen. Anything's possible. I could shoot 8 under. I could shoot 8 over. It just all depends on your mental game when you're going into it. So the mental game going into tomorrow is to do the same, which I was the fourth to last card to go out today, which if my math is right, which I suck at math, so I'm the 16th person on that, so I'll probably be the fourth card again. So roughly, I'll probably be around 11:54 again, maybe like 11:40 something, 11:46, 11:54, somewhere around there. Um, so the mental game is to just wake up in the morning, take a shower, eat breakfast, same thing what I did today. Get a couple practice putts in, get a couple practice throws in, figure out what I'm going to do, figure out what I need to improve on, figure out what mistakes I know I need to work on, and get the holes that I know I can birdie and attack. That's just going to be the game plan tomorrow is just to attack. You're right there. Attack when you can. Attack every hole and birdie when you can. That's all I got. That's the best advice I can just tell myself, and just to stay positive. Like I told my mom today, I got a little frustrated at myself on hole 14 bogey in it, and then hole 18 when I missed the birdie, just kind of slapped the disc against my hand, and just a little frustration at myself. But it was just one of those, like I said, mental laughs. It was like one of those putts I knew wasn't good as soon as it left my hand. So unfortunate things like that happen, but you just got to stick with it. And if you don't have the passion for it, and if you don't have stuff happen to you like that, you shouldn't be in the sport to begin with. So you're never gonna have a perfect round every time. Unless you're like Paul Macbeth or Ricky Wysocki. But I can't even say that because Ricky shot like 2 over at Ledgestone one round last year, 1 over, and then Paul shot just 16 over at DDO this couple weeks back. So anything could possibly happen. Like I said, I could shoot 8 under tomorrow. I could shoot 8 over. It just all depends. But before I sign off, I will be doing my final round recap tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that on my YouTube channel. If you have not liked or subscribed to my YouTube channel, please hit that like button, hit that bell notification button, and be on the lookout for more videos. I do also do my podcast. It's also the same name, Off the Chains, every Wednesday. I'm in the talks of hopefully in maybe the next month or so, maybe around Clash time, to have Luke Sampson that just got second place at Goat Hill this past weekend. So hopefully I can get him on the show, and maybe I can get some Ian or Gavin back on the show, or maybe even Brian Earhart. That would be kind of cool to have. But always like and support me on the podcast at Off the Chains on Anchor, or you can find me on Spotify as well. You might just have to type in Off the Chains and my name, Cody Enervold, Kody, and then Enervold, Enervold. And then also like me on here. But as I always say in my podcast, other than that, guys, at the end of my podcast episodes, tell someone you love them this week because not every day is guaranteed. I am Cody Enervold, PDGA member 148739. This has been my round one recap of the Workforce Brewing Open 4 at Trinity Links Disc Golf Course in Lockport, Illinois. And I will see you guys tomorrow on the next one. Love you guys. Peace!